You are in for a treat today because I'm going to be teaching you this crazy method of manifestation and hacking your brain to take control over your fears. And this is something that I just did, and I did a story time on it, and I did a vlog of the day it happened. It was like I was doing a vlog and then it happened, and then I stopped the vlog to explain to you guys what was happening. So that's on YouTube if you want to watch it. I'll link it in the description below. Let's talk about this amazing, crazy method to take control and claim your power over your fears, break through your fears, and use them as a superpower.
Welcome to Perspective with Kaylee Phillips, the safe space to get deep, break through, and find alignment. Here we prioritize wholehearted self-love, passion-driven careers, and living your absolute best life. You're here for a reason, so jump into the good energy, put your rose-colored glasses on, and tune in for massive impact and growth. I'm your host, KP, ready to release perfect and welcome perspective.
So this is going to start with a story time, as always with me. As you guys know, I was living in an apartment in the city in like June or May. I don't even know. At this point, I'm like, what day is it today? I was living in an apartment, and then I ended my lease and I didn't have my next place sorted out because we wanted something bigger and better, and we didn't want to settle because I tend to rush into things and just be like, go, 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 whatever's in front of me, impulsive action. And I was like, I want to make sure I have my dream place and I want to take my time. I want to stop rushing things. So I was taking my time, and that created a lot of fears for me. Fears about, am I wasting time? Fears about, what if I missed the opportunity, or what if I'm wrong for waiting? And I'm someone who likes to move very quickly. So it was very hard. It was challenging for me to slow down. And I was struggling with that internally, and like the mental game of trusting the process and trusting that things will come even when you have no proof that it's coming. Just trust and blind trust, right? So that was really hard for me, and I had a lot of fears about things working out. And I have another fear in my life that's totally unrelated, which is bees. I'm scared of bees, like irrationally scared of bees. I don't know. Well, I should say I was, not I am. I don't know why though. I'm not sure where it came from. I think just because I don't know if I'm allergic. I think that's what it is. Like, I don't know if a bee sting would kill me or not because I have no idea if I'm allergic. So I think that like unknown maybe created a fear. I don't know, but like if if I see a bee, or I have to say saw because not anymore because I've worked through it with this method. But if I would have seen a bee, I would absolutely lose my mind and like need to take cover. It was like very dramatic. I don't know if you guys have, do you have like an irrational fear that's just like you don't know where it came from, but it freaks you out? That was bees for me. Okay, so we have this duality of a silly, it's not silly because we don't want to invalidate it, but a fear that's a little bit like, okay, that's not that big of a deal, like bees. And then a fear that's very deep, like deep rooted and less tangible, which makes it a little more scary. There's fears like heights, which is like very real, or bees. It's a very real, tangible thing. And then there's the deeper fears like being alone or fear of failure, right? That are like a lot more intimate with yourself and a lot more difficult to face, because it's easy to say face your fears of heights, ride a roller coaster, go to the top of a building and look down. There it is, face it. But with something like being alone, that's not really face your fear. It's like work through your fear and address your fear and figure out, why am I afraid of this? And it gets really deep really fast, right? So I noticed this fear of bees because summer, and it was just like coming up a lot. And I noticed this fear of change and fear of failure. And I looked at both of these things and I'm like, okay, what can we do with this? What can I do to use this as a superpower? Because the belief system that I've loved to embody and that I absolutely just feel like has changed my life, and I empower you to do the same, is everything is a superpower. Everything is a gift. Everything is an opportunity. Everything has meaning, and everything happens for me. So, me being scared of something, it's happening for me. And I'm going to see at some point in my life that everything happened for a reason. And these little things that seem like nothing actually could create huge, huge change in direction later on. And these big things that feel like the world is ending and feels like, oh my gosh, everything's falling apart, are actually actively creating the building blocks for the future that I will see later on. So, just believing now in the moment that everything's gonna work out and everything's happening for me has helped me release control, like that need to grip on and take control of situations. It's helped me release that need for control so much. And then it just allows me to have so much more fun. So now I'm able to look at things like bees and say, okay, let's have fun with this. Like, let's do something with this. Let's learn a lesson. Let's make a change. Let's create a new manifestation method here. Let's see how I can experiment with what I know about the ikigai and self development and growth mindset and psychology and the laws of the universe and see what I can do to curate something and innovate something here. So that's what I was doing. And I'm sitting here with my fear of bees and my fear of failure. And I decided, okay, I'm going to create a manifestation method where I say, Dear universe, show me that I can handle and overcome this silly, irrational fear, this simple, tangible fear. I think simple is the word to use. This simple fear. Yes, show me that I can overcome, handle, and defeat this simple fear and become one with the polarity of this. So, like, become one with peace. You know, if my fear of bees is like the craziness, show that I can become one with bees. Not only because my point here is I don't want to say, like, show me that I can say F you bees. I want it to be like, show me that I can stand with a bee and be okay. Show me that as proof that I can also handle this less simple fear of failure. You know what I'm saying? So we're like creating a line between the simple fear and the not so simple fear and saying, Dear universe, show me that I can handle this. Show me that I can stand with this and be okay. Show me that this is safe as proof that this is also going to be okay. So in my case, I said, show me with blaringly obvious flashing red lights, like I can't miss it. Show me that I can handle bees as proof that I'm not going to fail and that I can handle these fears around failure and that I can handle this situation and that it's going to be okay. So for me, like when I'm asking for signs like bees, I have to be blaringly obvious like that. And I do that all the time. Like I've said, like, oh, show me like a family member mentioning SpongeBob today if like I like as a reminder to tap into my child self, like tap into my inner child. Like I do that kind of thing all the time. Or like show me a pineapple today as a sign to see abundance. Like I just do that randomly because I think it's fun and I think it's cool how you can place signs in front of yourself and like play around with the universe and play around with the things in front of you. So I wanted to be really specific with it though, because sometimes I feel like I can either miss it or I can overthink it. Do you guys know what I mean? Like you see an angel number and you're like, but was that a coincidence? Like I know there's no coincidences, but universe, don't let me think for even a second that this is a coincidence. Like this is so in my face that there is no chance this is anything but divine intervention and you speaking to me. Like don't let me doubt it, like show me so obviously. So that's what I did. And I did that before I got the house, before I got everything secured, before things worked out. And I kind of forgot about it. It's the kind of thing you just like forget that you do. Like you do it and then you're like, I don't know. You just forget. You do these things, you write these things down. Like so many of my clients and people tell me like they manifested things by writing down something. Like someone was just telling me she wrote down her dream partner and everything about them and the qualities they have and what they look like and the way that they interact and the way that they get taken care of by this person. And then like the next day they met that person, but they forgot that they wrote it down. And then like a month later, we're flipping back through their manifestation journal and realize that it was the night before they met that they wrote all that stuff down. Like, we just forget that we do these things. Even though you're so intentional and in the moment, you literally forget, especially if you're a pro at the law of detachment, which is so cool if you are. But like being able to just do something like that and then detach and go on with your life is it's a great habit and a great skill to have. So I did this very deep session with like overcoming my fears, show me bees, show me bees, show me I can handle this. And then that was it. And I just like let it go. And fast forward, move in day, there is a bee's nest on the front porch, like at the front door. And you guys remember, I don't know if you remember, but one of the biggest things I was excited about manifesting is that I was going to have a front door to outside. Like, I think if you listen back to old podcast episodes, you can hear me saying, like, I don't know what I want, but all I know is I want a door that leads to grass. I want a door that leads to outside. I don't want a door that leads to a hallway. And now here we are, like, number one clear sign is at the base of the big thing I was manifesting, the fact that I wanted a door to grass. There's the bee right there. Big bee's nest or hive. Nest or hive? I think hive, right? Beehive. Um, so it was right there, and it was like all up in our face as we're moving because the door's open, you're moving boxes in, and the bees are right there, so people have to keep going past the bees every time, and I'm terrified of bees, so every time I'm like, "Ah," like every time I'm running past, I did not click in. I did not even notice that the sign was right there. It's literally right in my face, but I forgot, so I didn't even realize. So I think the universe was like, all right, let's make it even more obvious. So I like reached out to maintenance and I'm like, can you take care of these bees for me? And then they sprayed like bee killer. And I found myself getting like so sad. I was like, no, 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 that's not what I meant. And it's interesting because I'm like in the moment, like, wait, I'm terrified of bees though. Like, normally I would have been the type to be like, kill it. But I was like, no, wait, I don't want you to kill it. Like, I want you to save them. And they're like, well, what do you want? Do you want them here? Or do you want them not? I'm like, well, I don't want them here living on my house, but I also don't want them dead. Like, I feel bad. And so they just sprayed them and then left it. But I think they didn't do a very good job because then they kept coming back. So then it's like, okay, there's bees again. And it just kept happening for like the first 2 weeks of living here. There's just bees. Every day I'm being faced with bees, 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 bees at my front door. And I'm like, all right, this is getting like annoying. Like I'm like, what's the point of this? And I remember even saying, like, universe, what's the point of these bees? I couldn't believe I forgot. And then, long story short, I'm doing this vlog, and this is the vlog you can watch on YouTube. I'm in the basement doing laundry, and I turn around and I notice that there's a bee on the floor, and then I look and there's bees all over the freaking floor in the basement. And since the front door is like adjacent to the basement. Like it was like the stairs, or I don't know how to explain it except the basement. This, oh my gosh, how do I explain this? The spot in the basement was like right under the front door. Yes, that makes sense. So I guess they fell through the crack, or maybe they were living underground. That makes sense because basements are underground. They all were in the basement, like hanging out. And I start screaming. In the vlog, I actually am obnoxiously screaming. I think it was maybe like the last of my bee fears, like leaving my body. I'm not scared of bees anymore at all. I actually don't think I would even freak out if a bee landed on my arm because I realized this was my calling to calm down and not care about the bees and show that the bees can be in my house and it's gonna be okay. Granted, I did get them cleared out. I got the space completely cleaned, and this is just one of the things that happens with having a house like this, a townhouse. But like, if you're in an apartment that's like super above ground, you're not going to have an issue like this, but more connected with nature. This is just one of the things that happens. And so, yeah, I realized it actively during the vlog and I was like, "Oh wow. All right. Thanks universe. Thanks a lot for making it so obvious in my face." And that was my reminder that I can handle big scary things too. And if I intuitively wanted the bees to be okay and didn't want to squash them, but wanted them to be taken care of and wanting that fear, even something that I'm scared of, I wanted it to be taken care of and wanted to like be a part of making sure that that was okay. It was my reminder that with my fear of failure and fear of change, it's not something you can just squash. It's something that needs to be worked through and taken care of and recognized and validated. So now, my challenge to you or exercise to you is to do the same thing. So, something simple that you're afraid of, that you want to work through, and that you want to challenge yourself to work through. And then the bigger thing, what's that bigger thing that you're scared of right now? That deeper fear. Maybe it's something that's been growing for a long time or something you've always been afraid of. What is that deeper, less simple, more complicated, abstract fear that you have? And connect it back to that simple fear that you have and say, Dear universe, show me that I can handle this simple fear as proof that I can handle this complicated, deeper fear. And watch as it's going to be a challenge. So, warning, don't do this unless you're ready for experiencing that challenge. But oh my goodness, the results, the feeling after of self trust and self empowerment and excitement and just power within me that I felt after was like, oh wow, like this is incredible. Like that is just such an incredible feeling after of like the power that you hold over your life and the power you hold over your feelings and your reactions. And it's not about what you're dealt, but it's about what you do with it. And it's not about the thing that's happening, it's about your reaction to what's happening. And all of those things that I learned from that, it's just like, wow, the things that a simple bug can teach me. It's incredible. And I really empower you to do it too because you're capable of doing hard things and challenges make us better. And this is the type of lesson that's an opportunity to grow and evolve so much. So I empower you to do this. Let me know. You can text the podcast now. Let me know what your fear is that you're overcoming to lock it in, or Let me know if you want me to do more story times like this by texting the podcast. But yeah, this was just such a crazy story, and I want to hear your story too. Also, go ahead over to YouTube and watch that vlog, and you can let me know in the comments over there on YouTube if you do this challenge too. If you want to tap into more mindset healing, more mindset abundance, and transforming your mindset, because these types of stories are a lot easier said than done. You know, it's the type of thing that you have to really honor your mindset and work for a while on learning to welcome challenges like this and welcome experiences like this with open arms and an open mind and open heart. I just tried to say mind, heart, and arms all in one. Yeah, you have to really open up to this type of experience. So if you want to tap into this more and tap into that abundance energy and find your alignment, I have a 10-day rapid fire alignment transformation. It's literally 10 days. It's self-paced, so you can do it over any timeline that you want to do it. But 10 days is all it takes. You could also do it all in one night if you're feeling crazy. You could do it all at once. But it's a 10-day camp. It is an amazing way to wrap up your summer camp. It is on sale. It's usually $199. You can get it right now for $88. That's it. And if you want to use Klarna at checkout, you can pay only $22 today. And you can kind of think of it as like $8 a day because it's a 10-day experience. You can get it for 88, like 11 days, 10 days, like $8 and cents a day or something like that. It is awesome and it is so worth it and on such a mega sale. It is crazy that it is on this much of a sale for you to get today. Camp is amazing. It has been changing dozens and dozens of women's lives, and it can change yours too. So I highly recommend going and joining camp, becoming a camper. It is just so incredible. You can read more about it in the description and get it for $88 to wrap up your summer with this 10-day mindset, manifestation, alignment, transformation. It is incredible. And we talk about more manifestation methods just like this one inside. You also have daily journal prompts, affirmations, and so many bonus resources in there. It is just absolutely incredible. So go ahead and join camp. Have fun in camp. I can't wait to see you inside and work with you closer in there. And thanks for listening to my story time. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, connect with me on Instagram and TikTok, follow along the podcast, and leave a review of the podcast if you are enjoying it. Send a text to the podcast if you have any requests for things that you want me to cover. Also, make sure you subscribe on YouTube because we're going to hit 10K soon and we're going to do something fun. I don't know what we're going to do, but when we hit 10K subs, we're going to do like a fun giveaway or something. I don't know what, but go subscribe over on YouTube if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time.